During the Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves trailer, we saw these things right here. Yes, they are clouds, but that one is a very stormy one. So, hey, I'm not so a strainer. Well, could there be more to them? Let's get into it. If you've watched my full breakdown of the Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves trailer, then you've seen what I believe this is, and what I don't think it is at all, that being either of the legendary Pokémon from these games. My take is that one is Waves related and the other Winds related, so it would be strange to focus on what would likely be the Winds related legendary. For more stuff on the legendaries though, check out this video right here. What I think it is a new raid-like mechanic. Something you'll do in-game for the story a few times, but mostly something that you'll do online with your friends. And if we take this at shape value, then I believe this could be a Gyarados raid, for example, because it does look like a Gyarados. This would mean that the Gyarados would be affected by the gimmick, this game's gimmick, and because of that it would have to be up there for us to battle, which is kind of weird because while I could see Gyarados getting up there somehow through a whole bunch of waterfalls, some other Pokemon wouldn't have the same luck. They couldn't really get up into the clouds. For example, how would a Gloom, a Pokemon we've seen already in the trailers, be affected by the gimmick and get up there? So how can we explain that? We could think about the whole situation through the Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet approach. If Terra Energy can connect two different timelines, then Pokémon inside of a Terra Den didn't have to be in Paldea, they just got transported there. Something similar could be happening in Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves, but it would be big, unfounded speculation at this point. We have nothing pointing us in any kind of interdimensional traveling. So, when considering what we've seen in the trailer, what if they are just up there? You know, just being Pokemon. We have the middle plane, the water, the mountains, the land, everything, and then, awesome, we have the ocean floor, the lower plane, because Dive is back after 12 years. Still, neither of the two is new. One is the usual stuff, and the other one is something that is very cool, but we've experienced it before. What if for Gen 10 we actually have a new plane, something different? Forgive me while I talk a little about Zelda. The Legend of Zelda series has been revolutionizing RPGs for a long time now, and Ocarina of Time is the reason many games exist nowadays the way they exist. But Breath of the Wild's success as an open world game undeniably influenced Pokemon's own jump into the world of, well, open world. There are many comparisons between Legends Arceus and Breath of the Wild, mostly because of the cel-shaded style, but it got to the point where I actually believed that since Tears of the Kingdom got both an underground area and a sky area, the same would happen to Pokémon Legends ZA. Technically, we did have underground areas in Pokemon for a long time. We had the underground back in Gen 4, we had the Grand Underground in BDSP, and I would consider the Area 0 Underdepths and maybe even Area 0 as an underground area. And Pokemon Legends ZA did have the maze-like sewers as well, but none of them got a sky area. And what if that's what's going on here? What if not islands like in Tears of the Kingdom, but what if the clouds themselves are actually platforms where things can exist? You know, kinda like the Sky Islands from One Piece, for example. And then stormy clouds, the black clouds, are actually where these challenges await us. These could be events that usually happen in the clouds, but as I think we're not getting a way to reach up there early in the game, are now also affecting the world underneath them, possibly being the inciting event that starts our whole adventure. And then, through upgrading our very special hoverboard, we'd be able to reach up there in order to explore the area and face more of these challenges. One thing is for certain, the clouds will play a big role in this game, be them as obstacles or something that can guide us, or maybe even, like I said, as something we can actually explore. But even if you don't believe that there will be a way to explore the clouds or a world above the clouds, I think the dark clouds are definitely not something positive, and so my theory stays the same. Wherever there is a dark cloud, there is a battle also waiting for us. But what do you think? Do you believe there will be something, some way to explore above the clouds? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Good Old Deo, Sean Speaks and Dash Plays, and my Twitch subscribers Anubis here, Zanes222, Lazarix, The Dr. Joe, and Teixeira23 for going that extra mile. Thank you so much for all of your support.